Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
If you've ever thought about being a speaker, growing your brand, getting your message out in front of millions of people, there's one stage you need to be on. One, period, zilch, zitch, nada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 2, Chapter 1, text 34 through 36. And we are fortunate to have this morning His Grace, dear Krishna Prabhu, to give the class. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, and it's all yours. You can start.
Sure, Prabhu. Prabhu, if you are able to make me co-host, I might need to share something if time permits.
Absolutely, no
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining this morning. So we'll start with Mangalacharan and we will proceed to our discussion for this morning.
And your co-host now. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Shri Subhadra Jaya Radha Sharad Bihari Radhe Radhe Jaya Nita Gaurachandra Nitai Gaurachandra Gaura Hari Nitai Gaur Hari Bo Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Srila Gurudev Gaur Premanandi Shri Shri Nitai Gaurachandra ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramhans Parivakacharya Ashwata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramhans Parivakacharya Ashwata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, भ्रत मृदंगम की जय, सामवेद भक्तवृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So once again, welcome all the devotees. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 1, and today's verses are verse number 34 through 36. And the name of the chapter is The First Step in God Realization. So we'll recite the verses. ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान् वासस्तु तु सन्ध्यायां कुरुवर्य भूम्नः अव्यक्तम् आहुर्हृदयं मनश्च सा चन्द्रमः सर्वविकारकोशः ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान् वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरुवर्य भूम्नः अव्यक्तमाहुर्हृदयं मनश्च सा चन्द्रमः सर्वविकारकोशः ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान् वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरुवर्य भूम्नः अव्यक्तमाहुर्हृदयं मनश्च सा चन्द्रमः सर्वविकारकोशः. Any devotees would like to chant?
Shasyakesan vidu ambahan pashastu sandyam kuruvarabhuna avyakta hridayam manascha sachandrama sarvavikara kosha.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Isasya keshan vidurambuvahan vashastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumna avyaktamahur hridayam manascha sachandrama sarva vikara kosha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay.
ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवान् वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुर्वर्य भूम्नः अव्यक्तमाहुर्हृदयं मनश्च स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोशः.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So synonyms, word to word meanings. Ishasya, of the supreme controller. Keshan, hairs on the head. Viduhu, you may know it from me. Ambu Vahan, the clouds which carry water. Vasaha tu, the dress. Sandhyam, termination of day and night. Kuruvare, O best of the Kurus. Bhumnaha, of the Almighty. Avyaktam, the prime cause of material creation. Ahu, it is said. Hridayam, intelligence. Manaha cha, and the mind. Saha, he. Chandramaha, the moon. Sarvavikar koshaha, the reservoir of all changes. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O best amongst the Kurus, the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head. The termination of days and nights are his dress, and the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. So there is no purport. So we'll move on to the next verse number 2.1.35. Vegyan Shaktim Mahimamananti Sarvatmano Antahakaranam Giritram Ashvashvatari Ushtra Gajanakhani Sarve Mragaha Pashavaha Shroni Deshe. Word to word meanings. Vigyan Shaktim, consciousness. Mahim, the principle of matter. Amananti, they call it so. Sarva Atmanaha, of the omnipresent. Antakaranam, ego. Gritram, Rudra Shiva. Ashva, horse. Ashwatari, mule. Ushtra, camel. Gajaha, elephant. Nakhani, nails. Sarve, all other. Mragaha, stags. Pashavaha, quadrupeds. Shroni Deshe, on the region of the belt. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The principle of matter, Mahat Tattva, is the consciousness of the omnipresent Lord, as asserted by the experts, and Rudradev is his ego. The horse, mule, camel, and elephant are his nails, and wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord. Again, no purport, so we'll move on to the verse number 36. Vayam si tadvyakaranam vichitram manurmanisha manujo nivasaha gandharva vidyadhar charan apsaraha swar smritir asuranika viryaha. Word to word meanings. Vayamsi, varieties of birds. Tad vyaktaranam, tad vyakaranam, vocables. Vichitram, artistic. Manuhu, the father of mankind. Manisha, thoughts. Manujaha, mankind, the sons of Manu. Nivasaha, residence. Gandharv, the human beings named Gandharvas. Vidyadhara, the Vidyadharas. Charan, the Charnas. Apsara, the angels. Swar, musical rhythm. Smriti, remembrance. Asur Anika, the demoniac soldiers. Virya, prowess. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense. Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charnas, and angels, all represent his musical rhythm, and the demoniac soldiers are representations of his wonderful prowess. Purport: the aesthetic sense of the Lord is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of varieties of birds like the peacock, parrot, and cuckoo. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas and Vidyadharas, can sing wonderfully and can can entice even the minds of the heavenly demigods. Their musical rhythm represents the musical sense of the Lord. How then can he be impersonal? His musical taste, artistic sense, and standard intelligence, which is never fallible, are different signs of his supreme personality. The Manu Samhita is the standard law book for humanity, and every human being is advised to follow this great book of social knowledge. Human society is the residential quarters for the Lord. This means that the human being is meant for God realization and association with God. I repeat, this means that the human being is meant for God realization and association with God. This life is a chance for the conditioned soul to regain his eternal God consciousness and thus fulfill the mission of life. Maharaj Prahlad is the right type of representative of the Lord in the family of Asuras. None of the living beings is away from the Lord's gigantic body. Each and every one has a particular duty in relation to the Supreme Body. Disruption in the matter of discharging the specific duty assigned to each and every living being is the cause of disharmony between one living being and another. But when the relation is re-established in relation with the Supreme Lord, there is complete unity between all living beings, even up to the limit of wild animals and human society. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this living unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh, where even the tigers, elephants, and many other ferocious animals perfectly cooperated in glorifying the Supreme Lord. That is the way to peace and amity. That is the way to peace and amity all over the world. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So very, very nice verses and very nice purport. So just to put the things into the context, Srila Shukdev Goswami is answering to Maharaj Parikshit's questions, and he is explaining how one should start meditating on Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. So what he is suggesting for the starters, that as the first step, one can start meditating on the Virat Roop of Supreme Lord. Because due to our conditioning, it's not easy for us to realize or experience the spiritual form of the Lord. So the first step, which sounds very logical also, because with our conditioned, our gross senses, we can relate more to the gross body. So we can consider the Virat Roop of the Lord as Sthula Sharir, like Sthula Roop, the gross body. And that is why the name of this chapter is the first step in God realization. So that in itself can tell us that this is not the ultimate realization of the Lord. So the first step is to understand that behind each and everything we see around us or we experience around us, around anything around us, there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead behind that. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam, cause of all causes. So in these verses, we see how everything in the universe, in this material creation, is related to Supreme Lord. For example, in these three particular verses, and in the previous verses also, we saw how mountains, rivers, everything is related to Shri Krishna, the Supreme Lord. The clouds are his hairs. Ishasya Keshan, Vidur Ambu Vahan. The clouds we see, we can see them as hairs of Krishna. The days and nights, the end of day, the Sandhya Kal, both in the morning and in the evening, when it is said that 24 minutes before the sunrise and 24 minutes after the sunrise, that duration is Sandhya. Again, 24 minutes before the sunset, throughout 24 minutes after the sunset, that period is Sandhya. And those two Sandhyas are very, very important. And our scriptures suggest to perform devotional activities. For example, The Gayatri mantra is chanted during those times. Those times are very auspicious. But anyway, as a new sadhaka, what we can see, those periods, we can just try to remember the change of that, like the Lord is changing his dress. How beautiful is that? Very poetic. So the point is that very, very beautiful descriptions of the Virat Roop of the Lord are given in this chapter. Moon is the mind of Lord. Sun is the eyes of Lord. So whenever we go out, and if there is a nice sunny day out, we can just look at Surya Dev, offer our pranam, thinking Lord is watching us. He is also looking at us. We can make that connection. So, and Mahat Tattva. What is Mahat Tattva? Consciousness of the Lord. So, sometimes devotees have little hard time understanding this Mahat Tattva. I also had the same difficulty. What exactly is this Mahat Tattva? And this term comes quite often in our scriptures. So to keep it simple, what we can think about Mahat Tattva as like a canvas that painters use. And then in canvas, painter use different colors, his artistic skills, and draw different things, right? Similarly, we can see Mahat Tattva as a canvas of the Lord, unlimited canvas, big size. And Lord is creating his creation using different colors, different varieties, different brushes, different paints. That's why this material creation is very colorful. If we see it from the eyes of Krishna, it's beautiful. Just like in the verse, the 36th verse, beautiful words. What are beautiful words? All these colorful words we see in this creation are indication of Lord's artistic sense. So what Srila Shukdev Goswami is trying to tell us here, that we should concentrate our mind on the Virat Roop of Supreme Lord, and that is to be done in the starting of the bhakti process. Because Lord Krishna also mentions in chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, what is the ultimate goal of human life? Man manabhav mad bhakto mad yaj mam namaskaru mam evashyasi yuktevam atmanam mat parayanaha man manabhav mad bhakto. And this verse comes twice in Bhagavad Gita. No other verse comes twice. So very, because this is the objective or goal of human life. So, and it is mentioned in chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita and chapter 18. As a reminder to us that it is the objective of human life. What it means? Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. So always engage our mind in thinking about Krishna. That is the objective of life. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So this is the process. And this is the goal of human life. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada used to sing this, one of his favorite bhajan, many times. Bhajo re mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanar Vindare Durlabh Manav Janam Sat Sange. Durlabh Manav Janam Sat Sange Taro He Bhavya Sindhure. Durlabh Manav Janam Sat Sange. And Srila Prabhupada has wrote a whole purport on this bhajan. It was so dear to him. He writes, Durlabh means very rare to obtain. And what is very rare to obtain? Durlabh Manav Janam. This human body, this birth in the human body is very, very rare. he reminds us. And it comes after long rotation, Srila Prabhupada says, after wandering into 8,400,000 species. And if one is lucky, it's not necessary that we can get just by after one rotation, we can get human body, unless one has enough pious credits or bhakti credits. No, we might be able to be just rotating in that cycle halfway, not even coming to the top of that stack, right? So very, very rare. And it comes after very long rotation. Once chance is given to become Krishna consciousness, we become Krishna conscious, one may get out of this. One may, not one will, one may. It's a probability. Therefore, the advice given to us by our acharyas is take this human form of life very seriously, very important. And because it is obtained by great difficulty. And what we do after that? Durla Manav Janam Satsangi. Then once one who has got this human life, his duty is to get the right Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Satsanga, so that we can engage our mind in the worship of Krishna. And this is possible, training of mind is possible only in good association, Satsanga, Srila Prabhupada writes. I'm reading from Srila Prabhupada's purport on this bhajan. Satsanga means persons who are simply 100% engaged in the service of Lord. They are called Sat, Satam Prasangat. Without association of devotee, it is impossible to train the mind. It is not possible by the so-called yoga system or meditation. One has to associate with devotees. Therefore, we have formed this Krishna Consciousness Society so that one may take advantage of this association. So Srila Prabhupada says, you have got this very nice, rare human body. So he's telling all of us, now associate with devotees and engage your mind on the fearless lotus feet of Krishna. He is requesting his mind. So in short, we should find good association, uplifting association that can inspire us, uplift us, and help us to make the best use of this human body. So similarly, Srila Shukdev Goswami here is recommending us to focus our attention on the Virat Roop during the initial stage of our sadhana, so that we can start appreciating the opulence of Lord, His glories. If we look around us, this creation, how wonderful it is. Beautiful mountains, beautiful rivers, beautiful nature, right? So by seeing Krishna's Lord's Virat Roop in that context, we can start appreciating what Lord has given to us in the form of this nature. Now, one thing also we have to be careful to understand, this Virat Roop is first step, it is mentioned as first step. It is not the ultimate realization. This is the first step. And it is also imaginary and temporary. Now, how it is temporary? Because our scripture says, and we all also know, that at the time of Mahapralaya, the ultimate destruction of this universe, all these rivers, mountains, all these beautiful creatures, day and night, even sun and moon, even the heavenly planets, even Brahmaloka, they all will get destroyed. So this Virat Roop is, in that sense, it is imaginary and temporary. But the abodes of Krishna, like Shri Vrindavan Dham, Shri Mayapur Dham, Navdeep Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, they are eternal. They are not under the realm of this gross material universe. So the distinction should always be in our understanding. Now, when Srila Shukdev Goswami is talking about the Virat Roop of the Lord, who is his audience? We know Maharaj Parikshit definitely is there, the great king of the Bharatvarsh, planet Earth, the whole planet Earth. And the great sages from all over the universe, not just from this planet, even the rishis, munis from heavenly planets, meaning the upper planetary systems, Maharloka, Sataloka, Brahmaloka, they assembled there. They are also listening to this description of Virat Roop. So it is not less important also. The point is that. So, and what Shukdev Goswami is saying? That when a person is dying, first of all, he should never be afraid. And second, one should always, that person should focus attention on Supreme Lord. So two rules, two sutras, two mantras he is giving. Never be afraid, he mentions in the previous verses. And through the verses that we are reading now, he's saying, focus your attention on Supreme Lord. And how we do it? If we have trouble, if we are not advanced, we are in the starting stages of our sadhana, we can start meditating on the Virat Roop. That is the point. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, giving the example of a necklace, what he says, that necklace is a beautiful thing. It holds together the pearls in a thread. But if the thread is removed, what is the position of that necklace? It is all scattered, right? So, point Shri Krishna makes is, it is because of him that everything is in place in this creation. But so if he permeates in each and everything. But if we take him out of things around us or in our experience, then everything is scattered. Nothing works out for us. So this is how devotee thinks. He connects everything with Krishna. For example, last week we celebrated Sri Nrsimha Chaturdashi. So when Prahlad Maharaj, he was given so many tortures, right? So he was also, when he was put into the fire, Prahlad Maharaj was not looking at fire, Agni, as something very ferocious. He was looking at the fire as Krishna. He had that spiritual strength. And he was very confident, convinced that how Krishna can do any harm to him. And he, without second thought, he entered into that fire. And we all know that nothing happened to him. Right? So this is the vision of a devotee. And because of his firm faith that Krishna is everywhere in each and everything, Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from the pillar, from the iron pillar. Right? So these were the examples how devotee sees. Because in his consciousness, Vasudevam Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Krishna is everywhere in everything. So when we talk about Virat Roop, let's see where all Krishna showed his Virat Roop. We know he showed it to Arjuna. And at different times, in different pastimes, these Virat Roop of Lord are manifested in different degrees. One we know is in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He showed his Virat Roop. Thousands and thousands of heads, thousands and thousands of hands. It is said that the brightness, the light of that form was so much that even if we put thousands of suns together, we cannot compare that brightness. That's why nobody other than Arjuna and Bhishma and probably a couple of more devotees could see that Rupa. And he sees all the enemies, all the soldiers, they are getting swallowed into Lord's mouth. Very ferocious Roop. Krishna asks him, "Who are you?" He gets bewildered. Sorry, Arjuna asked Krishna, "Who are you?" Because Arjuna gets bewildered. Krishna says, "I am time, Kal." So he says, "I have already killed all these people around you. So don't be afraid. You are just a nimitta, instrument. So, Battle of Kurukshetra, we see Virat Rupa was shown to Arjuna. In Vaman Rupa, Vaman Leela, when Krishna in the form of Lord Vaman comes to Bali Maharaj, he covers all the 3 planetary systems. He expands himself. He pierces the layers of universe. And even he pierces the layer above which there is Karan ocean, where Karnodaksha Vishnu is residing. And because of that piercing, the water from Karan ocean fell, and Brahmaji captures that water in his pot, and that becomes Ganga. And then Brahmaji washes Lord's feet with that Ganga Jal. Again, we see in the assembly of Hastinapur, Duryodhana orders, capture this cowherd boy out of so much ahankar. But Krishna again shows the Virat Roop, a glimpse of the Virat Roop. Only Bhishma could see that Virat Roop in that assembly. Then again and again, Mother Yashoda saw in his mouth all the universes manifested. Then she sees planet Earth, and she sees herself in Vrindavan inside little Krishna's mouth, and she gets bewildered. And also, when he appears as Lord Varaha, it is mentioned he was so big, Lord was so gigantic that he could lift the whole planet Earth just on his tucks. And his one pore could accommodate the whole ocean water. How big he was when he appeared as Varaha. And on the other hand, the same Krishna, when he appears in Vrindavan as the son of Mother Yashoda, just one bucket of water is enough for his bath. How wonderful. Otherwise, when he appears in the Virat Roop, even the whole ocean is not enough to get into his one pore of his body. Again, in Brahmana Vibhavan Leela, we see how he expands himself into thousands and thousands of cowherd boys, calves, cows, Brahmas, demigods. He shows that expansion of the power, the external energy, the glories of his external energy he shows. So the point is that when we remind ourselves of these past times, then we start seeing Krishna everywhere. That's the goal of a devotee. Connect each and everything with Krishna. Now, in Chaitanya Leela, we also see how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to jump into the ocean in Jagannath Puri, thinking this is Yamuna. That's how devotees are involved. He used to, there is a small mountain in Jagannath Puri, opposite to Tota Gopinath temple, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to run and hug that small mountain, thinking it is Govardhan Parvat. So the point is that we should train our mind, our consciousness, to see Krishna or things associated with Krishna in everything around us. Right? We should not do that to show to others or artificially. It should be internal meditation. Now, we also see in the pastime of Lord Ram how the boatman, the Kevat, he refuses. When Lord Ram, Mother Sita and Lakshman comes to the shore of the river, why he refuses to cross them over the river? He puts a condition. I cannot let you sit on my boat before I wash your feet. Devotees are very intelligent. So he requested Lord Ram to let him wash his feet. So he washes his feet because otherwise, he said, what will happen if my boat also becomes a stone? Or sorry, what if my boat also becomes a woman, like happened to that stone? By the touch of Lord Ram's feet, that stone becomes Ahilya. So he says Even one wife is, more than enough for me to handle. What if I get one more woman from this boat? So the point is that he uses that opportunity, thinking about Lord Ram's opulence and his position as Supreme Personality, to perform some devotional service. And he drinks that Charnamrit and also let his family drink that Charnamrit. So devotees see things differently. Once, Srila Prabhupada was walking on the streets of New York, and he was watching around very happily, he was looking very joyful. So some devotees, some followers with him, walking with him, they thought, it seems like Prabhupada is really liking New York City, with these buildings, this beautiful setup, whatever New York has. So one got the courage and he asked, Prabhupada, what are you looking at? You seem to be very happy. Anything specific you like? Srila Prabhupada answers, do you see that big vehicle in front of you? I'm thinking, can we use it for Rath Yatra? So that's the vision of devotee. In each and everything, they are looking around, they are seeing how that can be used for the service of Krishna. That is the vision of a pure devotee. So when we are reading these descriptions about the Virat Roop, the gross body of the Supreme Lord, how his limbs are demigods, how his eyes are sun god, moon is the mind of Krishna, rivers are the veins of Virat Rupa, trees are his body hair. What should we do? Whenever we see, let's say we see the picture of demigod, we have to understand they are part and parcel of Krishna and respect them. When we see sun, we should see how fortunate I am that Krishna is watching me in the form of sunlight or a sun. When we look at river or trees, so this is a training, right? We should train our mind to think like that, and then we can respect everything around us. Like His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj was expressing yesterday, there are a lot of things in Indian culture that is conducive to bhakti, spirituality. It's natural because the root of Vedic or Sanatana Dharma comes from the land of Bharat, India. So that reminded me of how, as a child, in this, we were taught to even respect now we take it for granted. Over the period of time, things become, we start taking things for granted. But even if the piece of paper was lying, we used to respect that. I remember in the school, if notebook used to fall on the ground, the spontaneous reaction was to pick it up, touch with our forehead. And that habit becomes so engrossed, even it is today, without realizing what am I doing, right? Because it was a representation of Mother Saraswati. So that is the vision that consciously we have to develop, that we are thinking about Krishna when we look around us. Again, Sarvam Khala Idam Brahma. Everything is Krishna, everywhere is Krishna. And this is so actually whatever we are doing in our practices of bhakti also, our chanting, our hearing, our seva, whatever we are doing, the idea is, are we always remembering Krishna? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. 2 rules for each and everything we are doing. Number 1 rule, always remember Krishna. And number 2, never forget Krishna. So that's the idea. We just need to learn that art. That is the art of living, Srila Prabhupada says. The perfection of life, perfect yoga. Now, I will skip a little bit in the interest of time. One thing again to understand is these descriptions of Virat Roop might not appeal to everyone that much, and that is fine, because these teachings are directed for everyone. So this section might appeal to people who are nature lovers or want to understand God in that realm of the nature, in the initial stages of bhakti or sadhana. And we see in the verse 36, or in the future verses, when entire list is completed, describing the different uh, objects of material creation as the parts or limbs or part and parcel of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada asks a very important question. What he asks in the verse 36, if we come down to the purport, he asks, if God has so much artistic sense, if the creation of God contains these wonderful singers, if all these things are there, then how can he be impersonal? Very logical question. If the God's creation is so much creative, so much wonderful, so much colorful, how can he be impersonal? It's a big question Srila Prabhupada raises. So, based on all the bona fide scriptures, we find that the personal form, the two-handed Shyam Sundar form of Krishna with curly hairs, beautiful lotus-like eyes, with wonderful jewelries, cost of money, flute, that is the original form of Supreme God, the most personal form of Supreme Lord Krishna. That's why in all ISKCON temples in the morning, we hear this wonderful prayers from Brahma Samhita in the voice of Mother Yamuna. Venum kvanantam arvinda dalayataksham barhabatam samsitam buddha sundarangam kandarpakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. The beautiful personal form of Lord Krishna is described. So how to access this original form of Lord? The process given to us is chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, chanting the names of Krishna. Because when we chant the names of Krishna, it establishes our relationship. There's so many infinite number of names of Krishna. Yashoda Nandan, Nandanandan, Devki Nandan. So these names establishes relationship of the soul with Krishna. Not only that, it also describes his beautiful form, right? And it also describes his beautiful qualities and pastimes. So name contains everything. Nam Kari Bahuda Nij Sarv Shakti. All the strength, all the glories, all the pastimes, all the forms are included in the names of Krishna. That is the process. So when we chant every day, or when we are chanting the Sankirtan, singing in the Sankirtan, we should be conscious of the goal of the process. What exactly are we trying to do and why? Now, few more points. So, worshipping personal form of Krishna in the form of Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Madhav, plus if we can be aware of things around us as the part and parcel of Virat Roop, right? That's even better. So I will try to explain that. So normal people who have no devotional background or no interest in devotion, they cannot connect everything with Krishna or God. For example, the people in the mode of goodness, they have good intentions. They want to save earth, save nature, save trees, save rivers, save tigers, save environment, save whatnot. Save everything except human lives, right? They want to save actually everything. Big slogans, but they do not understand that everything is part of Krishna. That is their misfortune. They're still at the mode of goodness. So their mentality is to perform good work, but without God in the center. They do not understand that everything is the energy of Krishna. On the other hand, a few years back, I think 2000, I forgot the year, maybe 18, we had the good fortune to participate in the Vrindavan Vrat Parikrama with Guru Maharaj and many devotees. So we saw a group of devotees, they were also involved in with us in the parikrama or circumambulation of the Braj Dham, but they were also cleaning the pathways, the sideways, anything they could find which needs to be cleaned. So that is so doing parikrama as a devotional activity is a good thing, very nice devotional activity. But if we can combine that with the consciousness that it is Krishna's abode, Krishna's temple, Krishna's place, even at home, even a temple, and we keep it clean to the best of our abilities, that is the best, right? There's a spiritual organization in Barsana whose members very devotional and they're committed to preserve the hills of Barsana, because this mining mafia in that area, they were just destroying those mountains on the land of Radharani. So even at the cost of their lives, these devotees, they faced that mafia who had guns and arms and whatnot. Their mood was that it is a personal home of Radharani. Barsana is the personal home of Radharani. Out of that love, they had that service, right? So the point I'm trying to make is we worship Lord in the personal form, and at the same time, we preserve his property, which is this nature. That is the best. So how the people in the mode of passion will behave? They will exploit the nature. They want to explore space or other planets. For what? For more resources, more oil, more more technology or whatnot, right? Nations want to put their flags on the different planets. So mentality is sense enjoyment. They have no idea of God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. People in the mode of ignorance, they will have their own thoughts. Who cares? They will say, is there a bar there on the Mars? Then I will go there. Their only mood is sense enjoyment, sense gratification. So we should be conscious wherever we go. We should try to relate our situation with Krishna. We could be in the temple, we could be at home, we could be working, we could be at office, we could be at the shopping mall, we could be driving, we could be eating, right? Krishna is fire, is digesting our food. So even sleeping, think about it. What if Krishna didn't arrange for breathing process to be automatic? Right now we take it for granted. How much anxiety or pressure we would be in? What will happen if I go to sleep and I forget to take breathe? That so the point is that we take so much for granted that Krishna has gifted us free of charge. There is no meter put on the breathing cycle. He is not measuring our breaths. And then these days we get so much anxiety seeing the increased gas bill, electricity bill, or water bill, right? Everything is increasing. But Krishna has given us all these things free. So we can thank him while going to sleep. And again, when we wake up, we can thank him. This makes our even sleeping a spiritual, a devotional service. So these verses are teaching us to connect everything with Krishna. Man manabha mad bhakto. And Srila Prabhupada gives us the peace formula also in this purport, the purport of the last verse. That unity and harmony is possible when relation between living entities is established in relation to Supreme Lord. Just not between humans, even each and everything, even each and every living entity. So it is not, this harmony is not possible when there is a enviousness, and there is a power struggle, when there is a propensity to control others, or to think that only I am the doer, I control everything, or only what I think is right. Those propensities doesn't help in creating harmony. And that's why the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioned in the purport, where Srila Prabhupada mentions how even the wild animals, tigers, snakes, elephants, all the ferocious animals, they displayed perfect harmony and joined the Sankirtan dance party of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because the center was just chanting the names of Krishna. Nothing else. No other personal agenda. Even in the devotional life, we should be very careful to differentiate between personal agenda and how to keep harmony between us. And I also came to know when I was reading about this pastime of Jharkhand in Madhya Pradesh, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking, and all the ferocious animals joined him in perfect harmony. What song he was singing, what kirtan he was singing. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the preface of Krishna book. The song he was singing was Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Rakshamam. Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Pahimam. Beautiful bhajan. Sometimes we also sing in the temple. So the point is that everything is centered around the holy names of Krishna. That will, if we are serious in our chanting and we are trying to do it sincerely and in the good consciousness with the purpose of service, that is the first service, Srila Prabhupada says, that one has, chanting the names of Krishna. And beautiful Mahamantra is given to us. So let us all make the best use of it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving your time this morning. We can probably spend or take up, if anyone has any questions, any comments, any additions or corrections, please feel free to unmute yourself. And we can, maybe for next 5 minutes or so, we can do some discussion. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for a very nice lecture. And we went seamlessly from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, things that he did in different places where you mentioned. So this is wonderful, very, very wonderful. Thank you for a very nice lecture. So the Woodies, as you heard, if you want to ask questions or takeaways, talk about those, and share or connect dots from your realizations, please unmute yourself now and join in the conversation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. God bless you, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, I missed this point that you mentioned earlier because I had too much things going on the stove here. You were saying something about 24 minutes. Can you repeat that again, please?
Yeah. We were talking about the verse number 34, where it mentions how the day, the evening and morning, right? Like, let me see. If you can go to the 34, Prabhu. Yeah, 34. Ishasya Keshan, in this verse, yeah. So here it says the termination of day and night are Lord's dress. Beautiful expression, very poetic expression. So I was just explaining this termination of day and night is like Sandhya, the morning Sandhya and the evening Sandhya, the time. So that time is described as the 24 minutes before sunrise and 24 minutes after sunrise. That duration of 48 minutes is like Sandhya. And then in the evening again, 24 minutes before sunset and 24 minutes after sunset, that duration. So that's why usually it is mentioned like Gayatri should be done at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and in between 12 p.m. Very auspicious time for devotional activities. Both are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now it's clear in my mind. Thank you.
Then the Mali Swami had also mentioned it before, I remember.
Yeah.
24, yeah.
Didn't know that. If anyone, I don't know if anyone else has a question, but if I'm looking down so that I don't jump in front of anybody. Prabhu, if you can shed some light or elaborate on this, as you were mentioning that, we got the chanting of the holy name, we should take shelter of it. And we also know that the chanting of the holy name is so powerful that if it's done correctly, I think is the right way to put it. If it's done correctly, it opens up, as we say, a can of worms. It brings out stuff in us that we are not aware of. It brings out, whatever we've been either knowingly or unknowingly having issues. So how can we really understand that chanting is not just, okay, Krishna engaged me in devotional service, but chanting is also to clean up our act? How can we understand that?
So, yeah, I wanted to cover this. Let me share this verse. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, hopefully it is visible now. So this is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, also comes in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where discussion between Sri Ramanand Rai and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going on. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, it's a beautiful verse. I would like to read it. Kanhara Smarana Jiva Karive Anukshana Krishna Nama Guna Leela Pradhana Smarana. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, what should all living entities constantly remember? And Sri Ramanand Rai replies, the chief objects of remembrance are always the Lord's holy name, qualities, and pastimes. So first of all, we have to take the shelter of scriptures. Most important. What scriptures are telling us to do. Again and again, they are repeating. The whole Srimad Bhagavatam, the verse in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentions, Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan Hari Sarvatra Sarvada Shrotavyaha Kirtanavasya Smritavyo Bhagavan Nadam. The business of the living entity is always to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead in every circumstance. And how should that be done? Hearing, glorification, and remembering by all human beings. Now, when we hear, meaning we are hearing these classes, right? And what these classes are telling us? Chant, chant, chant. So we have to take up the process. There is no other way out. Somebody cannot, give us a drink and then we can start chanting. If we have a interest in the spiritual life, in the Krishna consciousness, then we hear what needs to be done. And our spiritual masters are telling us, no matter which sampradaya we come from, Vaishnava sampradaya, they are all saying the same thing, chant the names of Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is saying the same thing, because Gita is saying the same thing. So now, even if we are not understanding, then we don't want to follow the process. I mean, that's my understanding. So at least now, whether we can chant the pure Naam or pure good quality chanting, that's a training that we have to go through. But importance of name is given everywhere. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, even Vedas. Of course, I have not read the whole Vedas, but the teachings that we have seen from our spiritual masters, they quote those verses from Vedas and Puranas. Chanting is the basic foundation. When the foundation, when something is very foundational, then when we know this is the process, then slowly, we want to increase the quality of our effort in that process, if we are serious and sincere. So that is my understanding. And even the next verse, I think it relates to that. Everyone should very attentively listen to the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should glorify his activities and meditate upon him regularly. So how do we glorify? And how we attentively listen, by attentively listening these kathas, these classes, and that can inspire us to follow the right process. And we can see that and being the association of devotees who are doing this sincerely and seeing what transformations have happened in their life. That is another thing that can inspire us. So that's why the first point when I was mentioning that bhajan, Durlabh Manav Janam, satsanga, that good quality satsanga is very important. It is our duty to find that inspiring, uplifting satsanga. Nobody else can do for us. So we have to find devotees who can inspire us, who can uplift us, who can give us this knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much
Prabhu.
for the explanation. Yeah.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. Chanting is very important. And Haridas Thakur says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, even the indistinct chanting in Namabas gives liberation, and the pure chanting gives love of Godhead. We explained like that. So we just have to chant. Not chanting is not excusable. Not chanting is not excusable. But I have to chant in this particular Kali Yuga. Very important. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you,
Any
Prabhu, for
other?
adding that point, because it's so important. Even if our quality is not good, there is no harm. It will only benefit. Of course, not that we want to continue with bad quality chanting, but absolutely even in the Namabhas or Namaprath phase also, even it will give us some material benefits. So there is absolutely no excuse, like Prabhuji said, to not chant. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I think Radhapad has something to say. Radhapad, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All good to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji, actually you mentioned about the two Sandhya calls, but actually, when we do the chanting Gayatri, then we do the 3 times. So what is that about? Like, what is the time duration of the Madhya call? Like at the noon time also we do the Gayatri, because that is also Sandhya call. It's called, Tri Sandhyam. So
Yes. So that's what I think I mentioned when I was answering Mother Ansuya, that morning 6 o'clock is suggested, then noon, and then evening 6 o'clock for 3 Sandhyas. Yes.
Yeah, so that is also the same duration, like you said, 24 minutes, like the before sunrise, after sunset, and so at that time also the same time duration.
That I am not sure. We can check, but usually I heard that because there is no sunset or sunrise, right, at noon. So
yeah, right. But that is a Sandhya means like that is a like transmission, from one phase to another phase. So that's why it's called the Sandhya call is very powerful to chant, especially chanting Gayatri. So that's why we chant, Gayatri mantras 3 times.
Right. So we can confirm with some bona fide sources whether that logic of 24 minutes also holds true there. That I'm not sure right now. But I'm pretty sure there should be. It cannot be just one exact at 12 o'clock. There will be probably some few minutes before that and after that. But I don't know whether it is the same logic of 24 minutes, Prabhu.
Okay. Jai Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or realizations or takeaways to add? It's a nice discussion going on. Hare Krishna. Unmute yourself if you want to do that.
I wanted to share the point that both you and Dear Krishna were talking about chanting. I remember a quote that that I saw on Chandramani Swami's site many years ago, where he said, even like what you both were saying, even if we do chanting mechanically, just do it anyway. There is benefit to it, because when we keep doing it mechanically, eventually it's going to become better and better and better. And I think that's the point that I think Chandramani Swami was mentioning in one of his classes, that the mechanical chanting will help to bring up stuff that we have been, our narthas, our faults, our issues, our mind, our what have you, that we unknowingly or unknowingly have been suppressing, because that's what the chanting does. And then after a while, when we deal with all our weakness and faults or what have you, then the chanting becomes better and better and better and better. So even the mechanical chanting has benefit, and the benefit is Chetodarpana Marjana, to clean our hearts. So that's the starting, and that can be a very long process, because I think I was listening to one class, I think it was by Mother Gita this past Monday or last Monday, where she was saying that it's just not just this lifetime, it's many lifetimes of crap that we have been carrying, that is going to take some time for Cheto Darpana Marjam to work on us, It's going to take some time before we can get to the real chanting, like really want to chant because we really want to chant. So yeah, even the mechanical chanting has benefits. I agree, because it does do some work. It does do some work. So just wanted to share those two things that I remembered from Chandramani Swami and Mother Gita. Hare Krishna.
In
Hare
general, everything that we do, it's even known by the karmic world that if you do something that you haven't been doing before, 3 weeks consistently, it will become a habit. So just start chanting, and after a while, you will see that it's part of your life, just chanting. And as has been said earlier, you keep chanting, it will definitely be improved because chanting opens our hearts to Krishna. And there's so much that will become, accessible to us just from the holy name. Not because of us, but because of the potency that Krishna has put in his holy name. That's why it is so effective. It's just a question of doing it. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So if no other questions, no other comments,
And
probably we can just conclude for today.
yeah, thank you, devotees,
Thank
for coming on today. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki
you.
jai. So thank you, dear Krishna Prabhu,
Thank you. Prabhu.
and thank you, devotees,
Thank
for
you,
coming
Prabhu.
on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Have a nice, wonderful Krishna conscious weekend. And those of us that are close in Harrisburg, we'll see you in the temple also on Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.